The 3 Dungeons & Dragons core rulebooks cost $150 at their full retail price, and that price is going up in 2024. And yeah, you can find them cheaper online, but what if I told you you do not need to buy any books to have a fantastic, fun, and memorable time playing D&D or other role-playing games with your friends and family? Because it's true, and I'm gonna tell you how. Because I'm Bob, this is where we learn how to have more fun playing RPGs together, and the first item you'll need is a single set of polyhedral role-playing game dice. This black and white, cheapest of the cheap set of dice is the D&D accessory that I use the most, and it was the first one that I ever bought even before buying any rulebooks. I'll talk about how that worked for me in a minute. The bottom line is that without dice or rules, you can still have fun making up adventures in a fantasy world, but then it's kind of just make-believe, and since we are totally serious grown-ups pretending to be elves with magical swords, I think the gamifying element of random chance is critical. Get it? Critical? For example, I've played some very fun sessions of D&D outside while hiking with friends. No paper, no pencils, no DM screen, no miniatures. We simply decided what unique abilities our characters have, chose a general numerical bonus like +4 for those special abilities, and then we rolled digital dice on a phone. So really, you don't even need physical dice, but they are very cool, they are iconic to the hobby, and there really is no greater gaming joy than rolling a natural 20 or even a natural 1 during some important moment of your game. And I put some affiliate links down in the description for cheap dice and for really cool higher end dice if you just want to go for it. But the next item is basically free because you definitely already own it. A freaking pencil and paper or index cards, a notebook, a sketchbook, literally anything you can write with. This helps the game master to take notes on the adventure, and it helps the other players keep notes on their characters' unique abilities and any of those numerical bonuses they get for their special skills. And once again, you don't need any D&D trademark official here stuff yet. I've run several very fun sessions of D&D using this homemade character sheet because it gets the job done without overwhelming brand new players with too many boxes and equations that make the game look way more complicated than it needs to. And if you like it, you can download a PDF of that simple sheet for free through the link below to my Patreon page. Okay, and I'm totally filming this in the least efficient way possible by doing it chronologically and going back and forth between these areas instead of just shooting all the clips of one area at once. So now let's talk about how I played D&D, and that's the last time I have to use air quotes, I promise. But let's talk about how I played D&D without really using the D&D rules for 2 years. My first game master owned the 5e Player's Handbook, but we barely used it. As first-time players, we knew nothing about the game, so we each printed off our own character sheets or literally just made our own, and we each made up our own special character abilities, and with the game master guiding us by picking and choosing features from different 5e classes, races, and spells. And was it a horribly unbalanced and broken game where my character ended up with a spell that had damage multiplied by their level? Absolutely, we were all overpowered, but was it also so obnoxiously fun and hilarious that I ended up devoting my career to this game? Yes, I will die on the hill that says you do not need to follow any official rules to have a fun time playing RPGs. But referencing those rules and making them your own is fun, and here's how you can do it and get those rules without spending $150 and without stealing them. Links below to all this stuff. First option, if you want to get playing as fast as possible, I highly recommend downloading the free PDF of Cairn 1E. It does use different mechanics from Dungeons & Dragons, but it has mostly the same feel, and you can read and understand the entire game in less than 1 hour. Character creation is simple, random, and fun, and I have a whole video about Cairn linked up here on your screen if you want to learn more. Next option, if you want to play genuine D&D, I actually recommend starting with the free Quick Start PDF of Shadowdark RPG. Like Cairn, Shadowdark is technically its own separate game, but it uses the same core rules as D&D, except Shadowdark has distilled those D&D rules into a game that is much easier for new or experienced players to learn and play. And on top of that, it adds a couple simple rules that make exploring dungeons with Shadowdark more fun, in my opinion, than exploring dungeons in Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah. Then, if you really have your heart set on playing actually official, licensed intellectual property Dungeons & Dragons trademark, I recommend purchasing one of the box sets, because these include a stripped-down version of the D&D rules, plus dice, which you can hear inside, an adventure module, and other materials to help get you started, all for a genuinely great price. And then, if you want more, you should still hold off on buying the big books until after you've read the completely free 400-page D&D system reference document, which contains all the highly specialized character customization options that made D&D 5e famous. I repeat, this legally free PDF distributed by D&D contains more than half of its rules from the core books, potentially saving you hundreds of dollars in books that you might end up barely using. Then, if you want to play D&D, but Shadowdark feels a little too dark, and actual D&D feels a little too complicated with too many options and too many rules, I highly recommend picking up the free Quick Start PDF version of the Dungeon Crawl Classics Quick Start rules. Note, DCC does use a few extra weird dice that you'll want to pick up, but a few of my players are now obsessed with how magic works in this game because we use some of the DCC spellcasting rules in our low-level D&D 5e game, and it makes it feel way more magical. And I got a whole video about DCC linked up here on your screen. So I know at this point I have technically recommended a book that I think will make your game more fun, and I'm about to do it again. Get yourself an adventure module, any module, because when I started running actual D&D, no air quotes, I built my campaign around a few short one-shot adventures by plugging them into a small world that I created myself and just expanded as the campaign went on, and it was very fun. It's honestly strange to me that D&D regularly publishes 250-page campaign novels instead of short adventures that are so much easier to read and run as is or pull apart and plug into your game. So that's why I have published this 5e one-shot for free on my Patreon, linked below. Every month I publish a 5e resource for my Patreon supporters, and most of them are low-level 5e compatible one-shots that you could easily play with D&D, or Shadowdark with a different vibe, or Dungeon Crawl Classics, or basically any other D20-based fantasy RPG. Now check out this video on your screen about the D&D accessories that I use the most, including those dice, and if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, or use those affiliate links below, or check out my stuff on Patreon and pick up some cool RPG stuff and support what I do in the process. Thank you, and keep building.